Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Patrol Base TV. I'm Stuart. I've brought a couple of little bits out today to have a look at. They're the same brand, they're just different models, but we can have a look at it. We've just thrown a bundle on the website to save you a ton of money, so this should be really, really good. Again, as normal, if you've got any questions, please drop them down below. We'll flick them up and make sure we get all your questions answered as quickly as possible. So I've brought out the Army Armament R603 and the R604. We'll cover the R603 first and then go to the slightly posher one afterwards. But these are just on the website now, and we've thrown a bundle together to save you a chunk of money. So if you wanted to get on there and have a look at what you can save, by all means do. They're on the new product page, but it's a really good deal. But first thing we'll look at is the R603, which is the sort of more standard model, which you'll have here. So it is a Hi-Capa base platform, which is quite easily ideable by the magazine, the double stack 30 round magazine. Really nice, good, with the base plate to match on there. So as what we normally do, we'll start at the front and work our way back. So with the R603, you do have a threaded barrel. It is an 11mm threaded barrel, but it is a female thread. So you do need an adapter before you can fit a suppressor, trace unit, flash hider, muzzle brake, anything that you want on there. But these things look really, really cool with like a Spitfire or something on. Super, super nice. But this is a more compact model to the standard Hi-Capas that you've seen. So this being more like your 4.3 rather than your 5.1s. Just above your muzzle, you will find the fiber style front sight, and it does have standard blackout rear sights. These help collect a little bit more light, so you don't need much light for these to be really, really effective. Even in low light situations, you're going to find a nice clean dot and be able to get on target. You've got serrations at the front and the back to help rack this thing super easy, along with whilst you're charging your first round or anything like that, you can grab it by the front, grab it by the back, and get that first round in there. 20mm pistol rail at the bottom, standard for torches and lasers, anything like that. Do they both take the same mags? Kronos Airsoft on YouTube, thank you very much. Yes, they both take the same mags, and I'll cover it now. So your 30 round Hi-Capa mag that you have there. So it comes with one in the box, and if you do go on the website, you can get an extra 3. And I think there's like £5 knocked off each one, so you're saving a chunk of money buying it as a bundle. Really, really, really good deal, especially if you're just starting out and you say you play at a CQB site or something like that, or you're just after a secondary that's a little bit more reliable and you can drop to a primary if you want. These are great. They're both very, very similar when it comes to the package, but features-wise, there's some slight differences between them. But magazines, they both take the same magazines, both take the 30-round Army Armament Hi-Capa magazines, so you got loads of rounds to put down range. Loads of fun. But I was just about to cover the 20mm rail at the bottom, so if you've got your Nuprol X300s or your 400s, if you want in a light laser scenario at the bottom there, you could fit a laser, a torch, absolutely anything. You could put the Zoxner launcher on here if you want, if you just need that emergency scatter shell thrown out there. All sorts of options on there. Again, with it being railed, just be quite aware of any holster that you buy. Sometimes the rail can stop it fitting into some holsters, but most of your retention ones, like your Nuprol or fabric ones, it'll just drop straight in and be really, really comfortable and really, really nice. I think even the 8-field Kydex ones, they've accommodated for the rail as well, so they drop in really, really... So Jurassic Cheese Squad, great name, on YouTube. Is the slide metal or polymer? The slide itself is sort of a lightweight alley, so it doesn't suffer from too much sort of heavyweight blowback. The heavier slides can take too much gas out of the mag to allow them to cycle a lot. These are super light, they are alley, so you are going to get, most of the time, get a full mag of BBs out of this when you're shooting it down range. When I come onto the other one, there's some extra sort of weight saving bits, but the slide is metal, but the grip, the sort of lower receiver part, there are metal parts in it, but the actual grip itself is a stippled plastic. So what they do with these is once they've manufactured them, they get like a hot tool or a soldering iron or like that, and press it in and create a pattern. What this does, especially when you've got gloves on, these stick to your hands like absolute glue. The grips sort of super solid, super nice. And what that allows as well, when you do grab hold of this thing, the beaver tail at the back. So you have two safeties on the Hi-Capas, similar to a 1911. You've got the beaver tail safety at the back and the slide lock there. So that one doesn't work unless the slide is racked and it's already cocked. But if that is down, it still won't fire unless your hand is around the grip and pressing the beaver tail as well. So it's got a double style safety on there. So if it is holstered and the safety knocks off and has got a round in the chamber, it won't fire unless the beaver tail is pressed. William Robinson, are they WE mag compatible? Good question, well presented. I actually currently don't know. I've just brought out the Army Armaments ones. If you have a look in the description, we will probably say mag compatibility down at the bottom. But because of the bundles we've put together, if you're buying it from scratch, I'd probably just jump on that. I would hazard a guess that they are, but I'm not going to commit to that straight away. We will probably reply to your comment on Facebook or YouTube with a reply and let you know exactly if they are compatible or not. So coming down from the grip, the magwell at the bottom, it is slightly flared. The idea of that is if you're dropping a mag out and coming back in, it just guides it in slightly easier, helping with a slightly faster reload. Sam Crowther on Facebook, what gas would you recommend for these? So they are green gas mags. Obviously, when we say green gas, there are various different powers of green gas, going from white, green tin, red tin, black tin, all the way up to sort of guard a super power. Black gas, probably with this one, I'd stick to maybe your ASG Ultra Rare or Nuprol Red. If you're creeping into the summer months, these things are sort of shooting around 310, 328 out the box. So they are quite easily in power ranges, especially for CQB sites and stuff like that. But if it does start getting super hot in the summer, I'd probably drop down to sort of green, maybe even white gas, especially for a CQB site and you're limited to 328 FPS. You've got to keep it, especially with a sidearm, you need to keep it under that limit. Saying that, I would still throw something a little bit heavier than a 0.2 in here as well. So if you're running your green gas or your red gas, I'd still stick some 0.25 grams or 2.8 grams in this. Because you're running a sidearm, you're not really overly fussed about having too much range. You just want it to punch out and hit that target super quick and super accurately. So stick the heavyweights in, sacrifice a bit of range, and just get that punching power. Paul Eastwood, are the rear sights fibre optic? No. So I mentioned the front sight is fibre optic. The rear sight is a standard blackout one. When I come to the 604, there's a few other cool features on that one with the sights, so just stick around and you'll see them in a minute. So I was saying about the magwell, obviously the mags themselves do have, they've almost tried to fashion in a Magpul style system into the magazine. So whilst these are in your holster, you can see the sort of just finger grips there. So if you are running a few of these on a plate carrier or in a belt system or like that, these things are you can easily grab them, super ergonomic. You can grab these and get these in really nice and easy. So quite a cool feature even on the mags. So combine that with the flared magwell, it's really cool. So Matthew on YouTube, it's my son's birthday soon. He's been wanting an airsoft pistol for trial. Do you think this would be a good option? Absolutely. You've got a couple of different options, whether or not you want the sort of more standard look or you want to go for the more Gucci look, which I'll come on to in a minute. It's got a few more features, but this package that we've come together is absolutely perfect for someone starting out. If they've not got a sidearm, they haven't got any mags already, this just covers every base. It's a green gas pistol as well, so there are some sites that sort of try to shy away from the CO2 because they can be a little bit too powerful. Green gas gives you that option of being able to change between gas throughout the year, make sure your power limit stays in the right limits. Obviously, with it being a Hi-Capa as well, there's a lot of cool features and safety about it. But if you're just starting out, these things are absolutely perfect for a new player. Definitely, 100%. So we'll move on to the R604. Again, if there's anything I cover on this that you want a little bit more information about, just drop your question below and we will cover it. So I think it was Paul East was just saying about the sights then. So again, this one does have a fibre sight at the front, and it does normally, out the box, come with a very similar sight to the 603, but it has this little plate on it. This plate, if you take the screw out of the rear iron sight, it pops off,
and in the box you get the Optic ready plate. So I've just fitted it so you can see how it looks. What this will allow you to do is to stick a doctor sight or a red dot on the back here, and that's why you can see that the rear sight and the front sight are slightly raised, so that these can coat winters through your dot sight in case that fails or anything like that. You've still got being able to shoot down range. But I think it's very, very cool for the price that these are, that you're getting an Optic plate. You're obviously not getting the Optic with it. Gives you the options to buy whichever one you want. But having that plate there is a really, really cool feature on something that looks that cool. It is super pretty. I do like what they've done with these. The grips, so the stippling on the grip is slightly different on this one. So this one, it's sort of circles overlaid each other. The 603 is sort of rectangle squares. So the main difference between the 604 and the 603, you'll notice straight off the bat, is the front of the slide is slightly different. So rather than having the serrations, they've got some ported lightweighted cuttings in there, and you've got the muzzle brake. So the muzzle brake itself is attached to the barrel, so that does stay where it is at the front when this thing slides back. And again, it is threaded, so you can stick some an adapter on the front of this, and still you're not limited because it's got the brake. You're not limited by not being able to put say your Spitfire or a tracer unit on this. You can still do it and still have loads of fun with that. Again, the slide is super lightweight. It is that lightweight aluminium, meaning that you're going to get a full mag of rounds out of this thing, even in sort of slightly colder environments. They both do have like a skeletonized lightweight hammer that's really, really cool. It doesn't offer any sort of function or like that. It's just really cool. How comfortable are they in your hands? These Stipple Grips are probably the best pistol grips that you can get currently. I run a Hi-Capa, and I wish it had this style of pistol grip on it. Mine's just a standard sort of metal and similar to a 1911 with the side pieces on. But what they've done here, it's almost like a John Wick style pistol, and it's cool in it. So once these are in your hand, it's super comfy. The width of it is a little bit wider than a 1911, but I've got quite big hands, so it suits my my grip a lot better. But that doesn't mean if you like younger players, if you've got slightly smaller hands, you're still going to be able to grip it really nice. Super comfy. And if you've got gloves on, I normally run gloves, and as soon as you grab this thing, it is stuck like glue. It's not going everywhere. So your grip's super solid, means that your follow-up shots and everything are going to repeat and be really, really cool. Kronos, how do you compare Army Armament to WE and Tokyo Marui? That's a harsh question. So, off the bat, these are a third of the price compared to some TM pistols. Without the bundle. If you add the mags in there, it compounds the effect. So these are far cheaper if you're starting out and you don't know if a pistol's for you, and if you're wanting a secondary. So if you've got a primary already, you've got an M4, you've got a sniper or anything like that, and you just want something to sit in a holster and be there when you need it, this is totally perfect. Short range, anyone within 5 meters, you're just going to draw this, put some rounds down the way, and it's going to work. If you're looking for something that's more of a primary and going to get 100, 200 rounds down it every single game that you play it, you're going to put thousands of rounds through it in its lifetime, you probably want to look at the TMs purely for the range, the accuracy, and the longevity, being able to get more aftermarket and upgradable parts. Not saying that these aren't, but these are more focused at someone just starting out, CQB, 5-10 meter engagements. If you're going outdoors and you want to run something like this as a primary, stick to the TM. It's just the range is just it's bonkers. It's silly. You are going to spend a lot more money, but that's part of the package, really. Again, so with this one, you have the serrations on the back to make it easier to rack and get that first round in there, and a lot of the controls on this are still ambidextrous, the safety and the beaver tail and stuff like that. The mag release is stuck and will be fixed to the left-hand side, so you are limited there, but it is still easy to do if you are left-handed. Just be aware that with holsters and stuff, make sure that you're not going to, especially with Kydex, you need to make sure there is a spacing and a cut out for the safeties. There's a lot of Kydex holsters that don't take these mag release into account. You'll drop this into a holster and your mag's going to fall out, so just be quite aware of that. Other slight differences between this, it is slightly longer, purely from the comp at the front, meaning the rail's slightly longer. Doesn't really affect what's going to fit on there because you're usually going to mount it all the way back here, but you still have access to torches, lasers, everything like that, and there is some weight saving under there as well. But if these are the things that you're after, if you're after a secondary, you've got your primary set up already, and you just want something to go on your hip and be reliable, these are absolutely perfect. Sam again on Facebook. What does the 604 have that the 603 doesn't? So they are branded the same, but if you actually sit these exactly next to each other, there are various different parts. So the slide's different. The 604 has the muzzle brake at the front, has a slightly different pattern on the grip, and it obviously has the option of putting the Optic ready plate on the back. You don't have to. You can just leave the standard plate on there. It's literally one screw. You could put that on and just run it with the iron sights. You've just got that option that down the line, if you want to sort of upgrade this starting off wise, if you wanted to put a dot on here, you've got that option, and it's not a terrible expense to do that down the range. Down the line, it's not something you have to budget in for when you're picking this up, which is a great feature. They both carry the same mags. They both have the same safeties, hammer system, and everything like that. It is literally an aesthetic difference between them. Apart from that, they're going to perform the same. Which would I pick? 100% the 604. It's just nice. I like the muzzle brake at the front. I like the idea of being able to drop the Optic on there. Optics on a pistol, they just float my boat a little bit. It's just a bit posher and a bit nicer. The weight saving and the cutouts in the rail are cool, but they're both going to perform exactly the same. It is just an aesthetic point of view. I just prefer the 604. I think it's really nice. Can they handle a large mag? Again, I'll have to check to see whether or not the WE mags are compatible. If they are compatible, yes, these would quite easily be able to take the extended 50 round mags. But saying that, 50 round mags, they're a lot longer, they're a lot weightier, they're a lot harder to get pouches for. You're getting an extra 20 rounds in a mag. Do you want to do that, or do you just want to stick with your 30 rounds and get multiple? So again, like what we were saying, if you get these on the new product page, you can get the pistol and 3 spare mags. So you have got 4 mags total. You've got 120 rounds in magazines right there. And changing mag, it's going to be quite easy. Dre Wilkinson on Facebook. How do these compare to the R501 in performance? Is there a performance difference? No. The reason why we've put these packages together is because everyone jumped on the R501, snapped them up, and they were really popular. And unfortunately, the R501 has gone out of stock. So we thought, rather than just leave it, we would put the same offer and package together with these. They're the same brand. Again, it's slightly different aesthetics, but performance-wise, they're going to be the same. But if you prefer the muzzle brake and you want the Optic ready, go for this one. If you want something just a little bit more standard and just to sit on your hip and be a reliable sidearm that you can just draw and put some range rounds down in, go for the 603. But apart from that, they are the same pistol. How does my mouth burn from the chili? Were you at Proving Grounds? Sneaky Russians. So I recovered quite well. I did a little bit better than Michael did. He cried, so that's always better. I didn't cry. But yeah, if that's everything for today, so that's been the R603 and the R604 from Army Armament. Check them out. There's load of options with them. There's holsters available. The 604's got the Optic ready capability. The R603 is just that super reliable sit on the hip and be there when you need it. Obviously, you can get the mag package with it. So if you want in the spare mags with a chunk of discount, they're there, and you're going to save a chunk of money by getting them through us. But if that's everything, if we've missed your questions, drop us a message on Instagram or on these videos after they're uploaded. We'll try and get back to you as quick as we can, and we'll try and get that answer about the WE mags on there as quickly as possible as well. But if that's everything, we'll be back again tomorrow at 4 p.m. And if you're following us through the week, wait till Friday. We've got our new long format video coming out as well. So keep that in your diary. It might be about 3-4 o'clock. But we're going to have a little chit chat about workshop and upgrade parts and what if you're looking at doing it yourself or you're wanting to get something done and you need information about internal parts, barrels, hops, anything like that. Join us at 3 o'clock. Throw your questions in and we'll make sure that you're getting all the right information at all the time. Until then, we'll see you in a bit. And I'll catch you again tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye.